Hey, welcome back, and in today's video, James Charles, he's came back to the internet. Well, not officially.
Don't worry, this is not my return to social media.
If you guys are unfamiliar, he's he's been ongoing in situations where he kept on sending and receiving inappropriate images to his underage fans. He kept on getting caught for this again and again and again. Because of these things, YouTube temporarily demonetized him, and Morphe Cosmetics cut ties with him completely, although they said it was mutual. He was effectively canceled, and then he disappeared from the internet up until just a couple days ago when he came back. But why did he come back? Well, he's being sued. Why is he being sued? Apparently he makes his employees shave his. We're gonna go into detail on this, and if you're unfamiliar with who this person is, as you can see, he's been in the news a lot. Google says he's an American internet personality, beauty YouTuber, and makeup artist. While working as a local makeup artist in his hometown of Bethlehem, New York, he launched his self-titled YouTube channel posting makeup tutorials. But apparently, one of his employees is why he became so successful, because she pretty much did everything for him. We're going to be speaking on this insider article written by Kat Tinbarge. I also want to explain to you who the ex-employee Kelly Rocklin is. Kelly Rocklin is actually a professional videographer and photographer who got fame after she began working with social media sensation Erica Costell in June of 2017. And everything was going good with that until it wasn't, and then Kelly sued Erica Costell. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's pretty interesting that she sued the only other person that she worked for, and now she's suing James Charles. I admit that doesn't sound very good, but we're going to go through this article, and hopefully this all makes sense, because I do believe that there is a genuine underlying cause that makes sense. The article says Kelly Rocklin is speaking out about her lawsuit against him, which alleges wrongful termination, disability discrimination, failure to provide reasonable accommodation, and failure to pay minimum wage for overtime hours worked. Rocklin is 26 and was 23 about the time she worked for James Charles for about 6 months in 2018. One thing I feel like is really important is why she felt that she could now speak up publicly about her experience working for Charles. As you guys know, I cover a lot of just really bad topics, talking about really bad people. And I feel like before we go further in this video, it's a good time for me to talk about my fundraiser. Before we get into this video, I want to point out the fundraiser here for RAIN. It helps survivors in terrible situations. Survivors that go through situations due to people like Davi Vanity, Romeo Lacoste, Destry Smith. And we're about at 50% goal. I want to at least get to 50% goal this month. I'm going to raise $10,000 towards RAIN. I really appreciate all that. And if you want to do that, just go to any of my videos that have the green fundraiser at the bottom, and it'll be on the right side if you're on desktop. It'll be below if you're on mobile, and you can just go to donate. If you already have a YouTube account, it's already connected. All you got to do is press $1. Just press $1 and continue, and you're good to go. And that's it. I get thousands and thousands and thousands of views on my videos. If 10,000 people donated $1, we'd already hit this goal. We could be raising money towards another fundraiser, and we're gonna keep doing that. Thank you. I feel like this story is being talked about for a lot of reasons, but I feel like one that's not really being touched on is the fact that the reason that she came out was because of all the stories of all the young kids that were coming out against James Charles. And it, to me, is just another example of how powerful it is for you to speak up and you to share your story. Because of that, it was said that Rocklin saw the public positivity responding to those who claimed to be of Charles's behavior. She said she felt more comfortable coming forward against someone with a giant following and loyal fans. And I do think it's important, and I want to give you this one-on-one here and say, it doesn't matter how big of a following somebody has. If they've done something wrong to you, you can come forward with your story. You can go to the authorities. You don't have to go public. You can do this in any way that you feel comfortable, and I hope that you do. Speaking of creepy, the article goes on to say she also said Charles walked around the house naked in front of her, called Rocklin names like the B word, and once texted her, and this one just blows my mind. Kelly, I might need your help shaving my in preparation for a revealing Coachella outfit. Rocklin said Charles made her feel extremely uncomfortable, and of this, I'm just not surprised at all. He was essentially a child when I met him, she said, but also when it comes to business matters and negotiations, he was all of a sudden this adult with a I don't give an F attitude. Well, it says vibe, but same thing. Now, I've seen people talk about because James Charles became very successful, very fast, it caused him not to grow up properly, and he wasn't able to learn boundaries and stuff like that, and I completely understand where these people are coming from. It could be a reason why he goes from acting like a child to just straight into business mode, because business is all that he knows. But get this clear right now, this does not matter when it comes to harming other people. Rockland actually did try to settle this with James Charles privately. She said he and his legal representation declined to settle during early conversations in 2019, which indicated to Rockland they would prefer to litigate the dispute in private arbitration. In March of 2020, Rockland filed her complaint in Los Angeles County Superior Court. Now, one thing I feel like is really interesting is the fact that James Charles would not respond to Insider or anyone about this situation, but rather, before the article came out, he posted a video to Twitter. It almost seems like it's damage control to try to hurry up and rush something out before the article hits the public. And I don't like the way that feels. I don't think that was a good choice on his part, but honestly, this dude is somebody that keeps making mistakes, and we really can't be surprised. This is that Twitter video. It's about 7 minutes long. I'm going to speed it up so we can get through it quicker.
As you guys know, for the past couple of weeks, I have obviously been offline. I've been taking time away to learn, to reflect, to talk to professionals, and most importantly, to try to help better the situation that happened recently in any way that I possibly can. I've been quiet online, but things behind the scenes have not been so quiet. There's a lot going on, and I currently feel as though the situation that I was in is being taken advantage of, and I feel as though I'm being blackmailed, which is why I wanted to film this video today. For those who are not aware, for the last 2 years now, I've been dealing with an ongoing lawsuit from one of my previous employees. This is something that I've never spoken about, I've never mentioned, because I wanted to keep it private out of respect for her, and the fact that it's literally an ongoing litigation. But she's now speaking about it, which is just perfect time considering everything else that's going on. Basically, when I was 18, I moved to LA. I was living in my downtown apartment, as you guys know, and my YouTube channel was just starting to take off. I was filming and editing 3 videos a week by myself for my channel, and I really just wanted help, so I hired an editor. This person worked for me and then was later promoted to my producer, which means she was no longer editing, she was helping me film videos, and was like my right-hand person for a salary of $72,000 a year. She only worked for me for about 6 months and then was let go, and now I am being sued. The suit was all online. You can read through it if you really want to, but it basically alleges that she was wrongfully terminated, overworked, and underpaid, all of which are untrue. I have a very, very small team. I've always had a small team. There are not many ex-employees because most of my team members have been with me for a really long time now. My team is like family to me. I love them all so much. You guys know a lot of them from being in the background of my YouTube videos, and I stand behind the fact that they are very, very well taken care of. The fact that this is like even attempting to become a narrative makes me feel like sick to my stomach, because it is wildly, wildly untrue, and I'm so grateful for the people around me. The case also kind of makes it seem like she's just trying to get back like the wages that she feels like she should have been paid for her work, which I wish were the truth, because in reality this suit is actually for hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you're not familiar with cases like this, they're unfortunately pretty common in like the entertainment industry, but they usually don't actually make it to court, which may sound weird, but it's for 2 different reasons. The first one being they are ridiculously long. This was filed 2 years ago. People are only finding out about it like now, but we are not even close to getting an actual court date yet, so it is a long, long process and quite a headache. Because it's so long, reason number 2 is it gets really, really expensive really fast for the defendant, which in this case is myself. So most of the time the defendant will settle, which basically means paying an amount of money to the person making the suit to just drop it and move on. And I'm not going to act like this was not an option for me. Settling is oftentimes a good option, a smarter option, because it's faster, it's cheaper, and it's a lot less of a headache. She is suing me. She has sued other YouTubers in the past. She was bragging on Twitter about how she just settled another case recently, so this is clearly a thing. But settling is no longer an option. It's on the table, and I'm going to tell you why. This past week, I was reached out to for comment about a news article that is coming soon, and I learned that she is talking to the press about this lawsuit and what it was like to work for me as an employee. However, she's adding a ton of absolutely ridiculous, absurd, untrue, defamatory, just the craziest claims you could ever imagine. And in my opinion, it's an attempt to pressure me into making a much, much higher settlement offer. Once again, I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. These claims range everything from I was so lazy, she had to force me to get out of my bed and brush my teeth, and without her, I would have never made a single video or a single dollar. But also things much more serious and disgusting, such as that I used to say the N-word around her all the time. This is just perfect, convenient timing as well, considering this past weekend, my old Twitter account, which I have not accessed since 2016, it only has 1 tweet, I guess was hacked last year, and the hacker publicly tweeted somebody the N-word, and people actually thought that it was me. The worst part about all of this, though, is that if I were, in some universe, to make this ungodly amount of settlement money, if I was to pay it, I'm sure a lot of you are smart enough to take a guess as to what would happen to these claims. They would be retracted and they would magically go away. I can't believe, I can believe this, I shouldn't say that, I just don't want to believe this. I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for words. This is just disgusting. I know that my lawyer has been like a topic of conversation, a meme, a part of my internet persona for a while now, and I get it. But contrary to popular belief, I have never, ever paid anybody to speak or to not speak about me, and this will not be the first time that I do it. It just won't. And unfortunately, at this point, my only option is to pursue this to the fullest extent of the law and hope that one day, whenever it does get to a courtroom in the future, justice will be served. The problem, though, and why I'm making this video today, is because until that happens one day, we're dealing with a court of public opinion, which is a very, very different situation. And it's a court that is not on my side right now, which is just frustrating because, like I mentioned earlier, I feel as though this is all just to pressure me. There has been 2 years of time and opportunity to speak about any of this stuff. But now it's happening, and now we're going to the press, and now we're doing this back and forth. It feels so wrong to me. I wanted to make this video today to give anybody who may care and any of my followers some sort of background, some sort of explanation, some sort of insight into what's actually happening behind the scenes, because it's crazy. And I don't want this article to come out and just blindside people, because it is going to come out. And when it does, I know that it's going to be bad. And I totally understand that people are going to think whatever they want to, regardless of what I say, regardless of what receipts, screenshots, legal documents that I pull. And that's okay. That's, everyone has a right to their opinion. I just want to give some sort of explanation so you guys know, and hopefully you're able to see this and what's happening here for what it really is.
When he comes out with videos like this, it's really hard for me to listen to anything he says, knowing full well that he taught a class on how to do these type of videos.
And scene.
Really got me, James. Really did.
Number one thing I want to talk about is he said that he feels like he's being blackmailed. Well, it's not blackmail. There was actually a whole process, a back and forth between lawyers, and he himself multiple times in this video says, well, this is just a common thing when in these types of situations. In response to Charles' May 10th video, Rockland's attorney told Insider his view that the reason the case has taken so long was that Charles' legal team then attempted to compel arbitration, and its subsequent appeal for arbitration was denied by the court. Rockland said that she hoped to set the public precedent for how influencers treat employees. Her lawsuit seeks compensation for wages that says were withheld from her, along with damages, penalties, attorney fees, and interest from 3 years since Rockland was fired. Now, notice that James Charles didn't say that in his video. He didn't say that his team attempted to stop the arbitrator, which is an independent person or body officially appointed to settle the dispute. So they were trying to get this thing knocked out, but Charles's legal team was like, no, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to do this. But why did they try to slow this down? Why did they try to stop this? Well, apparently, January 1st of 2020, there was a new California law that was put in place that makes this void, well, at least in California. Charles's attorneys failed to pay fees required for the commencement of arbitration within 30 days of the due date because of a communication error between Charles's firm and the private arbitration firm, according to court documents. As a result, Rockland moved to litigation, which was granted. Charles's attorney have appealed the decision and are waiting on a response from the court. So on all occasions, it looks like Rockland's attorneys were trying to move forward to deal with these things in private, and it was actually James Charles' attorneys who were slowing things down, trying to play the chess game. Okay, but here's the white lie. Rockland's attorney denied that Rockland was blackmailing Charles. He claims that Charles' legal team attempted to offer a settlement to buy her silence and keep the story out of the media. Wow. That's just not good. So now I suppose they're going to work that out in court. But one thing that he also didn't talk about in his little May 10th, was it May 10th Twitter video? He didn't talk about why he let her go or what the circumstances surrounding that were. And they're actually pretty bad. Less than a week before crap hit the fan with her job, Rockland said she was pleasantly surprised at getting a meaningful gift from Charles for doing amazing work and helping really make the brand and YouTube channel and just all this money that he actually has. And I think that is also a very important thing. She was getting praise. She was getting awards for doing these things. And during the 6-month term that she did do everything for James Charles between arrange his videos, doing his laundry. I hope to God she didn't shave his butt. But doing all these things, this was one of his most explosive periods of growth. During this period when Rockland worked for Charles, he grew from just under 2.8 million subscribers to over 8.5 million. He also produced some of his most known content, including video series with his YouTube famous friends Emma Chamberlain, Grayson Dolan, and Ethan Dolan. So this girl was absolutely killing it. She was making sure that he was getting up every morning, which he complained about and didn't want to do, but she motivated him to do so, and everything was going good. But then one day, she had an accident. She fainted, hit her head on the floor, got a concussion, and this is how that story goes. On September 4th of 2018, Rockland said she and James Charles were getting their nails done at a salon right by James's old apartment. Rockland said she was listening to the nail technician describe the surgery she needed for carpal tunnel syndrome and started to feel faint, a little bit lightheaded. The next thing Rockland remembers is waking up to a frantic James Charles. She had fainted, fallen out of her chair, and hit her head on the floor. This resulted in a concussion. This resulted in her hospitalization, and it caused her to miss time at work, caused delays in meeting video production goals. After being let out of the hospital for the first time, James would text her, and he would be, very understanding and say that he appreciates and hopes that she gets better. But then when she spoke to him on the phone or in person, it was a completely different story. He was upset about the production goals, and really what he was upset about is he wasn't making the money that he was used to making when Kelly was able to do her job perfectly. The dude could not even let this girl heal from a concussion. Rockland says that James urged her to meet video upload deadlines, asking her to edit videos on her laptop and come into production meetings. Even while Rockland's treating physician diagnosed her with a concussion and instructed her to take a week off work to recover. Just a week, James. Just a week, and this could have all been avoided. On September 19th, Rockland said James called her over for a personal meeting. The complaint says Charles callously informed her that she was being terminated due to poor performance. After having one of the biggest growth spikes in the history of his career, after giving her a Louis Vuitton necklace to tell her how good she was doing, she was terminated for poor performance. It just doesn't add up. She says he flipped on a dime. Rockland said, how do you go from buying someone a Louis Vuitton necklace saying, thank you so much for all your hard work, to you're fired, we no longer need you? So yeah, she's pursuing monetary damages, and rightfully so. The article goes into detail about all the stuff that Rockland would do for James Charles, which is it's a lot. It's like 80 hours worth of work. It's a crazy amount. Like, she did way more than she should have. It also goes into him saying the N-word, which I just feel like it's very terrible, and but we don't need to go into detail on that. That's something that we're just not surprised of. Like, it's hard to be surprised at the things that this dude is doing. He clearly cares way too much about money. But I just wanted to give you my piece on this. But I do have to say that it really is a big deal that people come forward with their stories. It's amazing that that message is being presented here. I'm going to stay on top of this. I'm going to keep updating on this, so make sure you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Gotta subscribe. We're pushing out content here. Positivity Turtles in the chat. And yeah, as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative or interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up for those likes, as always, brothers and sisters. I will see you in the next video. I personally am not surprised about any of this stuff. The dude needs to be held accountable for the sending, receiving of the inappropriate images. It's not good stuff. I hope everybody gets the resolutions that they want, and Rockland gets the money that she rightfully deserves. These type of people, when they get this focused on money over empathy, I just don't understand it at all. But other than that, how are you? Are you guys doing good? Yeah, I'm feeling good. This is the 4th video upload in a row. I haven't done that in over a year. So we're pushing out content. I see you guys liking it. We're getting really close to 200,000 subscribers. Really close. That's pretty neat. Not gonna lie. You know, just makes me think that Rep Squad is the best squad and all. If you'd like to become a patron and support what I do here, get your name at the end of my videos. Patron link in the pinned comment. Consider becoming a patron. Consider doing that and check it out. And if you want to do that, that's great. And it's just another way to show that you're repping it. If you're not repping your Greg, and how you do that, I'm going to subscribe. For notifications, turn on, be in the comment section after every single video, because I'm going to be there. Greg the cat's going to be there. And probably soon he's going to have a bed in the floor behind me. I'm thinking about moving to a bigger space, or a bigger room. And I messed up my outro. This channel loves you. How you heard money, James? How you heard that money?